On this episode of AV Week, we are coming to you from Orlando, Florida, and InfoComm 2021. Dave Labuscas and a whole lot more. Join us to look back at this week and the value of InfoComm 2021. All that and more next on AV Week.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is AV Week, episode 532, recorded Friday, October 29th, 2021. InfoComm 2021, Part 1.
Support for AVNation is brought to you by Crestron.
This is AV Week, your weekly wrap-up of audio-visual news and information. My name is Tim Albright, and I am at InfoComm 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Holy freaking crap. It's been a long road to get here, and the folks, you guys know if you've listened to AV Week, I guess for more than 2 years now, because we haven't done this in a minute. We were going to go around the horn and get a cavalcade of incredible and very special guests to tell us what they thought and what they got out of this week of InfoComm 2021. With me today, first up is Mr. Dave Labuscas, the reason that we're all here. How are you?
No, you're the reason we're all here. I'm great.
Awesome. Erin Moran Mayer, welcome, ma'am.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. She is from Johns Hopkins University. She's a tech manager and a programmer, I found out the other day.
Yes, I am.
So that's one more person that's better at programming than me. And Mike Blackman, my buddy from ISC. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Labuscas, you and I sat down about a month or so ago.
Really? I don't
You
remember
that? Well, it was apparently, I stole the set of Between Two Ferns.
Oh, that episode. Yes.
And I asked you at the end of the day on Saturday after InfoComm what success looks like, and if it's not a success, if you should keep your job.
Now that you mention it, I remember being asked that.
So I'll ask you.
The way I remember is though it was Monday.
It was, yes. Towards the end of the conversation, I did give you till Monday. So will you have a job on Monday?
I think I will have a job on Monday.
Okay.
Wow. You know, I spent a week walking around a trade show floor, and that in itself is a statement that is not been able to be made in a year. But beyond that, there were an enormous amount of people here considering the circumstances and putting everything in context. And I haven't spoken to an exhibitor that wasn't excited about the depth, the level of conversations they had, the level of business that was discussed. It, by all measures of a gathering and convening of the industry, InfoComm 2021 was a success.
All right. Mike, you and Dave have walked similar paths the last couple of years.
You notice the gray hairs? Mine's getting almost like his.
So was mine, but for different reasons. But ISC did not have their show in February in Barcelona. You had two shows, more regional shows. You look at this week, and you're here because your clients are also here, right? And I know from talking to some folks, they made decisions this week to attend ISC, to exhibit at ISC. What does that say to you about the industry and our recovery?
This is an industry that's very resilient, and you see them coming back. Yes, they've been hit hard, and some parts of it more harder than others. And that's tough for anybody in any business. You know, what do you do when you had to lay people off? How do you justify going to a trade show and spending a lot of money rather than paying salaries? So what it means for us is being here is showing they recognize the value of trade shows, they recognize the necessity to do face-to-face business. And you know, what's been great for me being here is those companies, firstly those ones who've stayed as our partners, who have even more commitment now and want to do even more at the show and promote the show. But more so, we've had a lot of companies who have been unsure of where they stand. And now they're coming to us and saying, wow, InfoComm was great. We're coming to ISC because we see the value. We want to be there.
Erin, I wanted to bring you on with both Mike and Dave because I have said this consistently for probably about 3 or 4 months, that I felt that this InfoComm was going to be the InfoComm of the tech manager, of the education space. You were on the board of HETMA, right?
Yes, I am.
You are an incredible technology manager. What was your takeaway, and do you think that this really was a higher concentration of your cohorts?
Well, it absolutely was. I mean, this was the show that we needed right now. And we made it a point to have all of us come out in force, because not only because it's a great opportunity all round, and it happened to be perfect timing for our cycles for installations and whatnot. So we'll have our ideas ready to go before the fiscal year starts. So that was my one thing about it being in October. It's the perfect timing for higher ed. Yeah. But we really made it a point that we wanted to make sure that we got here and did all of the things, and it's been amazing.
Joe Way, who helped found HETMA, is also on the board. He used that phrase, "We needed right now." This is the show we needed right now. Why?
We needed to see each other. Like, we've been on Zoom calls and all the webinars and stuff, and we just needed to see each other in person and network and make those connections, and that's invaluable. Like, right. we can see the manufacturers. If we have reps that come to campus and stuff like that, which now luckily they're able to do a bit more. But a lot of it was really about the connections, and this year was great. Even though there was a condensed show floor, we felt less anxious and overwhelmed, and we were able to actually stop at booths that we probably wouldn't have normally, because we'd just be like, I need to get everywhere, I need to get on all the things. And so it gave us an opportunity to really see some really neat things.
Yeah. Dave, I spent 3 days on the show floor interviewing vendors. That's kind of what I do. Consistently, and I'm not going to say it's all, because it wasn't, but a majority of folks consistently said this was worth it, right? My day job, and I've said this again, my day job is head of marketing for Conference Technology, the integrator. We had a booth this year. I learned a lot about exhibiting. Just put it that way. I learned a lot about exhibiting, and I learned some about the ROI of trade shows. And I asked that question consistently. And a majority of the folks that I asked said, I made my ROI back by the end of the first day. Why do you think that is?
I think that this was a year that wasn't taken for granted by anybody. I think we all sort of fall into these routines and these calendars and these schedules. And so mid-June, am I going to Vegas or am I going to Orlando this year? But I'm going to go to InfoComm. That didn't happen this year. This year, somebody sat down and they talked to their manager or to their employees, and they talked to their family, and they said, I'm really thinking I want to go here, and this is why I want to come. And there was an explicit conversation that resulted in those attendees being here. And the same exact thing took place with the exhibitors. So I think you had people here with purpose. You had people here that very consciously made a decision to be here, and be here not only for that, right? And I don't mean to dismiss that, because I couldn't agree more about face-to-face interactivity and interacting with human beings in 3 dimensions, but to do commerce. Nobody was sending their team here to have a party. Yeah. And the other piece of it is that it's a numbers game, right? So if there are less exhibitors to see, you can spend more time. I spoke to countless attendees that said that they'd spent time and discovered product and innovation and stands that they would have likely never gone to. Yeah. So that's I think why you're hearing that.
Right. Mike, one of the things that I've learned over the years is the collaboration that your team has with the Avixa team and the InfoComm team. What do you think that you and your team are going to take away from this experience, right, and this show, and how the InfoComm team kind of managed through this, but also the show that they ended up putting on.
I mean, firstly, the collaboration and talking doesn't happen just here. It happens the whole year. Yeah. Myself and Rochelle, we speak every 2 weeks, and even in between. But we have a jour fixe every 2 weeks, and we exchange what's going on. We've got the same customer base, what we're learning, where the issues are, how they've solved it, how we solve it, what are the good ideas. So we gain a lot, and I can tell you there are exhibitors that we have rescued for the show as a result of that collaboration on both sides. See, Dave? But the other part of it is more on the marketing, on how we get the right customers to the show, and all that experience. We're trade show people. We know how to do a show. We're not experts in the AV industry. We like to think we are, but Dave, we're owned by AVIXA and CEDIA, but having that team who are every day talking to customers, actually creating programs, they are bringing all that to us to actually help us attract the right people. You're going to see one of the biggest challenges we have with ISE is that we've grown as being a channel event. We've been very, very successful. But our customers, the exhibitors, have come to us and say, we need to speak to the end users, the corporate end users. And here are the people we want to find. And we go back to the AVIXA team and say, okay, help us. What do we need to do to attract someone who's looking for smart office, smart work locations? Application solutions. What do we do if we want to get people out of the live events industry? They have all the work, all the research, all the figures that we need to go to our customers and our attendees to give them the information that says, yeah, I want to be there.
All right, Aaron, before we let you go though, HETMA and AVIXA just announced a scholarship, so we want you to tell us about that.
Absolutely. We are super excited to have this partnership with AVIXA to offer up 10 scholarships to diverse, underserved members who don't get the resources to be able to take their CTS and whatnot. So this scholarship is going to allow them they're going to get a membership that allows them to take any of the education to prep for the CTS, so we can set them up for success. And then HETMA is then going to offer to take them to InfoComm.
All right, very good. How does somebody find out more or apply for it?
Our applications are going to be starting in December, but they can find out more information about that at hetma.org.
Mr. Velasquez, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I hope that you're right about having a job on Monday.
Thank you. That's the.
If you're still there, how do they get a hold of you or AVIXA?
You can email me at dlabuscus@avixa.org. You can call me. Phone number is 703-277-6748. And AVIXA's at avixa.org.
All right, very good. Mr. Blackman, good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
How do people connect with you or register for ISE already?
Well, firstly, go to our website, www.iseurope.org. And just click on registration. If you've got partners in the industry, give them a call to get a free code, or call me, or send me an email, mblackman@iseurope.org, or me on Twitter at ISE_Mike. Find me and I'll get you in free.
All right. Aaron, how do they connect with you and also HETMA?
You can find me on LinkedIn at Aaron Marmoran, and also on Twitter, Smearin_off_ice, my roller derby name.
Which is also what makes her a badass.
And for HETMA, hetma.org, HETMA.org.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much for watching this first segment of AV Week. To check out the rest of the episode for free, click on the link below or go by the website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.